Let's talk about wedging fruit. First thing you want to remember is use the right tool for the right job. We should not be seeing anyone cutting fruit by hand. First of all, you want to lube your wedger with food grade lube. Remove all those stickers because they will gum up the machinery and kids don't want to see those stickers. We're going to wash them all, get all of the little fuzzies off that we can. Take the ends off, because if you don't take the ends where the blossom is, you're going to have little weird things in your wedges. We do not peel our kiwi, but we do take off the extra fuzzies that we can. All right, then you're going to stick it straight down on the wedger, and in one smooth motion, go straight down. You're going to go kind of hard and fast, and it should produce a very nice looking wedge. And again, cutting these by hand is not an option. We're going to do the same thing with oranges, but we don't take the ends off. You're going to put them in on the side. That makes for easier wedging, but the most important thing is it makes for easier eating. So always the side. The navel end goes out, and that allows for the membrane to be cut. That way when you bite it, you can easily get a bite of orange. You're going to use half pans when you put them out in the reason why you use half pans is it keeps the tongs from falling down inside the pan. Let's talk about the new item, KC Bird Dog. And this was a group source name. The first thing you're going to do is queue up your boats on a pan. You want to have everything ready. You're going to put the bread on the pan, followed by already heated, crispy popcorn chicken. Don't undercook it because then it's going to taste kind of squishy. And remember, we want to reduce hold time. We only want to hold it long enough that this cheese will melt, but not so long that the bread starts to get kind of squishy or hard, or that the chicken starts to get squishy. So again, just hold long enough to melt this cheese. Always check your recipe for amounts. They do occasionally change. You'll put it in a moist warmer uncovered, or you'll cover it in a bun pan bag and close it up. The very last thing you'll do as the students are in front of you is drizzle it with warm barbecue sauce. Again, warm barbecue sauce. Let's talk about one of my favorite items, the crispy sweet potato fry. First thing you want to remember is don't crowd them. They need room to get crispy on the sheet tray. One bag, one pan. Don't skimp on how many you put on there. Kind of give them some space. You're going to also remember these items will sometimes get done on you very quick. The sugar content will cause them to crisp up and burn and go from perfect to burn just very quickly. They will always go in a dry warmer. Again, dry warmer. You do not want to put this in a moist warmer. They will not be edible. So on Mondays, elementaries, when you need moist warmers for 99% of the items, you're going to start with a dry warmer. You're going to use a bun pan bag and cover the things that need to be moist. So our new item that I know all of the mothers out there are going to like is this new popcorn chicken garden salad. The first thing you're going to do is queue up your boats on a tray. You're going to put all of the cold items, including the cheese, decoratively placed like you see here on the tray, and the hot items, the hot breadstick for secondary and the hot chicken for both grade levels, will go on the serving line in front of the student. That is the last thing you will put on. You'll leave one row of boats without cheese for the allergy kiddos. Let's talk about refining our taco salad techniques. We want to queue up our boats on a sheet tray. Again, all cold items go on the sheet tray. Notice corn is on there. Corn is cold. You're going to drain it extremely well. It can come straight from the can. If this canned corn is open the same day, put it in the refrigerator the night before. That way it'll already be pre-chilled for you before you do this process. And again, drained cold corn. The only hot item is the meat, which will go on the serving line. The chips may be packaged, or it may be a weighed out 2-ounce portion. It will always go on the tray. We're not going to use a second boat. We want to be using one boat. The salsa, the tomatoes, and the sour cream will be self-served. Notice the green stuff in that salsa. This isn't a new recipe. Remember, our LPS salsa will and should have cilantro in it. We're going to be looking for this, guys. That's what makes it restaurant quality. Next, we want to talk about baked potatoes. You want to soak these for a little while. That's going to loosen up the dirt, and then give them some really good scrub time after they've soaked for a little while in cold water. We always want to soak these in cold water. This is a standard restaurant quality industry NSF veggie brush. You're not going to use just any brush that you get at the dollar store. There are standards for these. So if you don't have one in your kitchen, let's order one. You're going to give them a final rinse after you've scrubbed and gotten all that debris off. You're going to rinse them in clean water. You're going to poke them through with either a knife or a fork. Just be real careful not to get yourself. But this prevents the potatoes from exploding actually while you're cooking them. After they're all nice and baked, these are finished products, you're going to cut a plus sign, kind of a cross, straight down one side and down the side. That prevents them from just looking like you just cut them straight in half, and it gives them a nice shape. Again, cut them just like a plus sign. You're going to add the cheese. Again, always follow the recipe and look every time you make it. It does change. It will not always be the same, and the cheese standards do change depending on if this is a side or an entree. So again, checking those recipes. Don't go by memory. You're going to put them in a warmer long enough to melt that cheese, but not so long that it turns into a potato chip. Again, moist warmer would be a great choice for this. If you're using a dry warmer, you can always cover it with a bun pan bag or a lid. I do want to address a TikTok suggestion for baked potatoes. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it floating out there, of the suggestion of washing potatoes in a dishwasher. I want to emphasize this is not safe. Do not do it. This is something that should never happen in anyone's kitchen, but especially not industrial kitchens. Let's talk about the new burrito de pavo con queso with Spanish rice. The first thing you're going to do is cook off your turkey. That's your de pavo. Remember, with the turkey, if you're making it the night before, it will be a leftover item when you go to make your burrito, which means you will not be able to save those burritos. So, not saying you can't do it, but you must take that into consideration. Weigh out your poultry mix. You're going to put that on your tortillas room temperature. You're going to fold it up nice and tight. Spray your pans so that when you put these in and you go to get them out, the tortilla is not going to stick. Now, notice we're working in small batches. The goal of this is so that when you go to take them out of the pan, they stay nice and tight and they don't get broken up. Be sure to mix your cheese with your Alfredo sauce following the recipe. This cheese is a low fat content and it will not melt, so we don't want to see it sprinkled on the top. You're going to bake this off until it's nice and hot. Remember to cover it during baking so the cheese doesn't over brown, and spray that pan lid or you will have sticky mess. Plate it up nicely and carefully on the line so it looks just as presented. One thing I want to point out about this plate is the Spanish rice is plated. The Spanish rice is part of the grain contribution for this burrito. It goes on the plate automatically. It is not self-serve.